Welcome to day 6 of the creation of building my own Fallout game setting in Berlin, and today it's gonna get real wild. As you can see already, I was working on some textures for lootable pre-war items, and you may react like some people on Twitch during that section.
Wait a minute!
Yes, this is indeed not a Latin-based letter system like German uses. It is Cyrillic, used by some Balkan, Eastern European and Central Asian languages. However, upon further investigation, you may spot that it yet has a few letters like the umlauts ä, ö and ü. On top of that, we have the SZ, or the sharp S. Because yes, I actually sat down in Cyrillicized German.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Now, if you have watched the previous episodes of the series, you may already know that I'm working on a game-sized Fallout 4 mod that takes place in Germany's capital, Berlin, but with a scenario that East Germany, the German Democratic Republic, that built the infamous wall known as the Iron Curtain, never fell. And therefore visual storytelling through little details like these make a major impact in selling the story. I used Google Translate's Cyrillic keyboard for that, as I don't own a Cyrillic keyboard on my own anymore. So this isn't Russian, Ukrainian or whatever, it is German, just described into Cyrillic letters based by sound. And not without any grounds, because after that stream I was made aware that there were actual plans of the SED for such reform that just never happened. My plan effectively is that once the player makes it to East Germany, they are faced with essentially a different world by itself. Different loot pools, different items, different objects, and so on. And that also even seems plausible if you just take into account a different North and South Korea developed, for example, who never reunified. Yet. Anyway, we're not done with wild stuff yet, because I also sat down to design a clock. A what now? Yes, a clock.
Look how they mess with my boy.
I looked at so many clocks for inspiration, but couldn't find anything fun. So much, I forgot to record that off stream. Anyways, yes, I made my own weird clock because I'm a weird dude. Instead of 12 hours, this one has 24 hours that don't start at the top of the clock, but at the bottom. Further, it spins counterclockwise and the minutes and seconds are on their own little circle rotation, slightly offset. Based upon this model, I will have to sit down and overhaul some textures of pre-existent clocks and watches. Now, I'll grant you a few minutes with less crazy stuff to digest all of the aforementioned stuff. I also designed some more products that could be in the West German sector on German with Latin letters this time, and took inspiration from Meister Proper, better known as Mr. Clean, and the door detergent from the 1960s to design Meister Weiß, which I only realized later translates as Master White and hence is a little shady. Got it? Shady? Because Master White? Well, but then once upon a time we had these. I will not read this aloud. Or this commercial where Roberto Blanco, a famous German Schlager singer, was, well, see for yourself.
Auch farbige Sachen.
So, Meister Weiß is the perfect item to expand on the backstory of how Germany struggled with its past. Next! I consume pizza as my doctor prescribed to me.
I have to do this for work.
What kind of doctor is that, you may ask? Well, Dr. Schmeckter. Inspired by the real brand Dr. Oetker, I photographed my food like any cool modern-day influencer and uploaded it to my PC for frozen pizza in-game. I further made sure my exercise walk to look around for further assets that I can think of that still require 3D models to be produced and put them all into a forum channel of the Fallout Iron Curtain Discord server for future fellow devs. I also put down all the factions logos I designed, their background stories and such, pre-work companies I could think of, though I think I should maybe reconsider putting Schniedel into this game. I will not translate that right now. but it means peanut. Well, since we are back at wild stuff again, may as well continue with our plasma files for this juicy asset I prepped before for the East German sector based upon the computer terminals of the Institute. Unfortunately for me, however, it appears those files have been lost when my old PC died a couple of weeks ago. So I had to sit down and rework it, but encountered so many oddities in the texture behavior. I actually had to take the keyboards off the regular terminals and put them in place with the Institute terminals, because their keys are not really reskinnable and I wanted the letters to still be visible. Despite everything working in Nifscope, a 3D program, it doesn't work in the Creation Kit for some reason though. Something is just always a little bit off, so that requires me to look deeper another day again. After that, it was time for some relaxation with booting up Automation, a game in which you can build your own car and export the 3D models. I therefore sat down to design an equivalent to East Germany's Trabant called Prolet, and I'm awaiting response from some 3D artists as we speak in their attempts to convert it into a NIF file, the 3D file format the Creation Kit uses. I almost stumbled right there. I used the restart of the engine to briefly investigate the script the Wasteland Workshop DLC is using on the saw blade trap to copy the script out of it for the barbed wire fences I created in episode 1 to deal damage to those running into it. But I couldn't figure it out. Scripting just isn't my forte, but hey, maybe next time. So I implemented crafting recipes assigned to the new cooking workbench regarding all the soups that give the player cryo resistance against the cryo markers I prepared to simulate the nuclear winter, as well as implementing the headscarves from Nuka World without their face coverings. That basically summarizes the 18-hour workday, but if you have any questions, for example how I did what, feel free to ask in the comments below because that's what they are for after all. Or just visit me over on Twitch when I'm not live on stream. Or, well, when we are partying. Tremendous appreciation to all of you, not only my Ko-fi subscribers, who I have to thank a lot as well. I am blasted by how much traction this project is getting despite it still being so early stage. I hope as always that you liked today's video and I'll catch you another time, another day, and always remember, we all started at nothing once. If I can do it, you can do it. Do it. Outtakes. Fell. And therefore, visual storytelling through little details like these make a major impact in selling the story. I don't know why I talk like this. The SCD for such a reform that just never happened. I just took a little different approach to